How do you keep that passion? We're in an environment speaking faith, but how do you deal with disappointments, negative events like, cancer not being healed, and how do you hold on to joy and peace in times of, devastation, extreme devastation? And and we don't talk, our church is large enough that we have some really difficult things happen, but they almost don't happen to the whole church oftentimes. They're like a little bit more localized.
Right.
I'm aware of events
true.
right now going on. They're like, the whole church isn't dealing with it, but some of us are.
Yeah. That's true. There's no real solution apart from the presence of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It's not counseling. People come to us with real tough questions. Most of the time, they're not asking for an answer. They're asking for an answer. Mm-hmm. They're not asking for point 1, 2, and 3. They're asking for something that will give them peace in the middle of this chaos and this pain and loss, whatever. I'm constantly trying to direct people into. One of the students asked me yesterday after class the same question. What do I do? And I'm constantly directing people into, get alone with God. Be brutally honest. Just don't accuse. Mm-hmm. It looks like you betrayed me. It feels like you didn't keep your word. This is what I do. It feels like you betrayed me. You did not keep your word. I know it's impossible. I know that you're perfectly faithful. So I include that in the prayer because I know that that's true. In my heart of hearts, I know that he's absolutely good. He's absolutely perfect. But this is what it feels like. It feels like I got left alone. It feels like I got stuck. Yeah. And I'm in a whole bunch of pain and a whole bunch of disappointment because it feels like you abandoned me. But then I do follow it with that honest other part that says, I know that's not true, but somehow you got to touch me where I'm hurting. And what I will do is I will bring out all the stuff that I'm thinking and feeling. I just bring it all out, lay it on the table, not expecting, I don't ever require anything of him. I mean, it's not as though we could, but I mean, in my attitude, you don't owe me any explanations. I will serve you regardless, and I will serve you with joy. But these are the things that hurt. And I always have the word with me in those moments. Sometimes he'll give me an impression of where to turn in the Bible. Other times I'll just go to a familiar portion that he's ministered to me in the past. I'll open to Psalms 25, for example, or 27, and I'll just start to read, or 37. Some of these that have been real monuments in my life in the past. I'll just go there as a starting place, and I'll begin to read. And I'll just continue reading. I may go through 20 Psalms, but I will read until he speaks to me. When he speaks to me, I may not have an answer for that, but I do have an answer for the pain, And that process, depending how devastating this thing is, I may do a half a dozen times in a day or more. I remember one situation years ago. It was one evening. I heard from the Lord. I don't think it would be an exaggeration at all. I heard from the Lord 20 times at least in one evening, because it was so. As soon as I'd get into a place of real comfort and peace, I'd start working again and just get bombarded, and I would go back to the Lord. He was so generous in talking, speaking to me, bringing that peace, and then the next day, you just give yourself to the Lord for Him to fix you, for Him to heal you. You can't fix yourself. I'm not going to psych myself up. I can give Him an offering, and I do. I'll hold up my biggest disappointment. Somebody died because of a disease, and I will deliberately, intentionally offer the Lord an offering of thanksgiving and praise for His healing power, and I will come into the opposite of what I've experienced, and I will. We've discussed this one before, but I live with an awareness that I'm giving Him an offering I won't have a chance to give Him in heaven. It's almost like incense. I want the pain and the loss. I want that to flavor the smoke, the fire, the incense of the offering that I'm giving Him, because it's a sacrifice. It's my will is being shaped by an intention to honor Him in every situation, and so I want to grab my moment now, because I won't have it in eternity. I'll never have a chance to give Him an offering out of pain or loss in eternity. So we grab it now. But that's a process right there. But the honesty with the Lord, the confession of what you know to be true about Him, the word, the praise, interaction with people of faith. You really, really be careful of who you're with in those times. Don't be with critical people, people that complain a lot, people that are just sarcastic, people that are just unbelieving believers. You know, just if you can avoid it all in those, it's like having a dislocated joint. It's already been dislocated, and the wrong move, it comes out again so easily. And so you protect that part of your body, you protect that part of your heart, and you just don't get on a slippery, you don't get on icy sidewalks. You know.
Yeah, you avoid those situations because you just know that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, you may be strong enough in another season. It's no, they don't affect you at all. But in those moments, man, you gotta. No one else is going to protect you.
Yeah.
You know, I have to. You know, I'm the one that has the key to the gate to the garden of my heart, and I've got to make sure that only the right people get in there.